Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, my video is going to be what I would change about the first three historical American girl dolls. Or the first three dolls in general. So, we're going to start with Kirsten Larson. Honestly, she has a pretty cool collection. She's basic by modern age standards, but once she came out, she's fine. I think that she's probably one of the best blonde, blue-eyed, light-skinned classic molds. Her time period's interesting. I also like that she's not the most privileged doll like the other two. She's a bit more relatable in that aspect. What I would change about her, well, it isn't very much. So I'm going to do her first for that reason. I would change one, I'd give her a best friend doll. She has a best friend, and her best friend's name is Songbird, a Native American girl. And I feel like they missed a really good opportunity with that. There's really not that much that I would change. Let's see, change it to make it so she didn't retire, I guess. There's not a lot to say about Kirsten. She's pretty, she has a pretty good story. I have a mini doll of her. I wouldn't change anything other than give her a bigger collection. Well, in the modern day, like the re-release would have had some of her accessories. And I'd also make it so she has a best friend doll. Because she's the only first three doll of the first three, she's the only one without a best friend doll, and I figure, kind of important. The next is Samantha. I'd actually with Samantha. I really like her brown hair, brown eyes. I really like brown-eyed dolls, clearly. The main thing I'd probably change is I think I would probably just make her hair. I don't know, I'd change a few story things. I feel like she comes off as a bit entitled or privileged regarding what she gets in life. She's like, I don't want to learn how to sew. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but who's gonna sew? Are you gonna have servants sew for you your whole life, Samantha? That just doesn't sound the best. She can sew her own things. She should try. I thought that was a bit of a dumb plot line. And also the whole I don't want to vote thing was, I don't know why she wouldn't want to vote. She has a cute collection though. And her best friend doll is really cute. Another thing I'd probably change is on the Be Forever re-release. I would have made it where AG kept it more towards the original Samantha vibe. Both for her character's sake and just making her, because she would have still stood out even with that Chains of the Meat outfit. Being said, she's still a cute doll. I love her eye color. I also really like the ones from the 90s that are called Stargazing Samanthas. Yeah, I guess look those up. They're cool looking. Where they look up a bit. It's super interesting. You can start to see that. And I guess I'll talk a little bit about her best friend Nellie, since we're sort of mentioning her. I definitely like her friend Nellie. I don't really know. I guess if she's adopted, she's also a relative on paper, which is interesting. But for the sake of this, she's a best friend doll, not relative on paper doll. Who would I get to next? Molly. That's it. Molly. I don't know what I'd do for Molly. Molly McIntyre is an interesting doll. Part of me says she should have had darker hair for what she looks like. So here's Molly. And also, I think darker hair would have suited her. I wonder if those glasses even have lenses in them. Or are they just metal frames? I just sort of think that it would have helped differentiate her, because her and Samantha are very similar dolls because of the eye color thing. But I think maybe some kind of variation in length, or maybe just have Molly not have bangs, would have really helped differentiate her from Samantha, because I do think Samantha's the prettier one of the two. She's just a little too similar. She has a pretty good collection. I admit I'm not a huge red, white, and blue star-studded type person, so it's like, a little much for me. At least I think it's a bit much. Being said, her story's pretty good. I've seen the movie. I've read one or two of the books. I think. I think maybe one, like her birthday book. That's it. Yeah. She has a good story. I feel like her story's better than Samantha's, relatably, as far as being interesting. But if I'm being honest, Nenea is a more interesting doll. Which is why I have a Nenea mini doll. Yeah. But she has a very interesting time period, and I think that she serves an important role in the story. I'd change a few things about her collection. I'd probably make it so she'd have a slightly different hairdo in some way. What I'd really do is I'd probably add highlights into her hair, like Martine says. Because she does already have that brown hair on the darker side, and maybe some highlights of some kind would have helped her a bit. So that's pretty common for people. I also think that I would have started off with a fluffier eyebrow. I think the bangs are really cute, don't get me wrong, but Samantha looks better in bangs to me. So I feel like they would have needed to just change up her hair a bit in some way. Main thing I would have done is given it a bit, let it stay a bit straighter. Because Samantha has like wave curls similar to Sade's and Maritza's. I would have made her hair a bit less curly and a bit shorter than the other ones. Personally, I feel like that would have helped differentiate her, and added something like red highlights or like maybe lighter browns, like a caramel color. There's not a lot to change. Like I said, Kirsten, I only spent a minute where it's like, yeah, I guess what I would have changed is just had some more stuff come back because it's really cute. I like it. Not to mention, she's out of them the more. It stands for saying like really important and how we treat people, and how Kirsten goes back a little further in the timeline, so she's interesting in that aspect. Samantha, most of my gripes are with her story. I like everything else about her. And Molly's Molly. I don't really have anything. Thank you for watching. Bye.